Let's talk about what it really takes to start and grow a service-based business. There is a lot online about, the freedom, the finances, all of the amazing things. And while that is true, I think it's so important to have a conversation about just fundamentally, what does it take within you on a strategic perspective and also on the mindset perspective as well, and just how you're showing up to actually start and grow to a really successful level, to make this your full-time income and beyond, to grow this to 6 figures, all of those milestones. What does it actually take when you are a service-based business owner, probably operating largely online as well? So as I said, there is so much online that really portrays it from this perspective and really shows the online service space as, come in, you're going to make loads of money. And yes, that can be true, but there is a lot more that goes into it than just the case of, just throwing up a few Instagram posts, making 6 figures, etc. And I want to go through some of these pieces today. And really, there's so much talk about how simple it is to make just endless money with a service-based business. Yes, I talk a lot about simplicity. I'm the massive, massive fan of simplicity, and I'm always going to root for that and tell you to make things simpler. But really the key piece with this simplicity is we make things simpler. We don't just do what is easy. We don't just do the most simple looking things, especially when you're really starting, especially when you're really wanting to grow this. So we're going to talk today about what it really does actually take to start and grow a service-based business online. So the real side that you perhaps don't see online a lot, but is actually really required. And to be honest, is the secret. This is the secret behind how you actually get all that success in the first place. So the first thing we talk about on the strategy side is clear messaging. This is something I do not think gets talked about enough because it is so fundamental. People, especially in the online space, they need to know what you do and how you can actually help them, and they need to be able to figure this out really quickly, really quickly. They are making an impression of you in, 10 seconds. They're deciding, do I like this person? Do I trust this person? Do I care what they have to say? Do I want to follow this person, let alone do I want to join their program? Do I think they could be helpful for me? Do I think they could be a great mentor, etc.? The industry, as we know, there's a lot of people in it, and that's not a bad thing. That's a really good thing, but it does mean that there's a lot of people who are doing similar work to you. It just means naturally that there is more competition. So we really, especially nowadays into 2024, need to be focused on actually catching attention fast and actually getting people to pay attention to our brands. And that just means, yes, showing up with really great content, yes, posting and doing all the things there, but fundamentally, I think just clear messaging and just being really clear in who you are speaking to, how you can help people, what you're putting out there is such an underrated piece. Even if you look, for example, at my own Instagram, it's really clear what I do. I know I've shared this before. I help you to 2x your revenue while taking a day off. I talk a lot about this, $100,000 a year while working 50% less, etc. So I consistently talk about that messaging, and it might sound boring to, create content around that consistent messaging, but that is the secret. That is the really big piece behind how you actually get those results. So the second piece in terms of the actual strategic side is really consistency over months and years. Again, when you look over towards my Instagram, you can see I have done 343 posts, and some of those are archived ones as well. So it's significantly more than that, but it's just putting in the reps. I've put in the work. I've showed up consistently over a number of years and have just been consistent as well with my current messaging for months and months at a time, and actually showing up and sharing, the same thing. Showing up and talking about the same message. So I'm really known for something, and really you just need to stick with it a lot of the time. I see a lot of people who, they'll talk about something for a month, they'll post about how they can help people, they don't see the success they're wanting within that first month. So they think, this messaging isn't working, or I'm not getting the results, or, this niche is too saturated, or any of those things, where actually a lot of the time you just need to stick with it a little bit longer. I think one example I always use a lot with clients, which I think just rings so true, is there's not a single strategy that does not work. Every single strategy will work. We're not asking ourselves what is going to work, what is going to be the best messaging for us. Every single messaging, every single way that you're presenting yourself online will work. Every single niche will work. And I use the example of, if I was to say to you, and go and market your business. And the way you're going to do this is by handing out flyers and leaflets in your local neighborhood. You might say, okay, but I'm an, online service-based coach. That's probably not the best way for me to get clients. I'd agree with you. It's probably not the best way to get clients, but I guarantee at some point, if you continue doing this for days, weeks, months, years, decades, you will get a client at some point. There's not going to be a world where you do this for 50 years straight every single day and you don't at some point find a client who does want your life coaching, for example. So I share that just because it's so helpful to really realize that actually we don't need to change things. If we see that something's not working, it doesn't mean it is not working. It just means we need to work it for longer to get it to actually work and to see the results. So really just being consistent and just letting that momentum build is how you're actually building this long-term sustainable flow of consistent clients. That's how you become known for something. That's how you actually build a reputation and how you get to that place where clients are able to come to you really consistently and you're not needing to hustle as much because you've built this foundation. So consistency and just showing up every single day, it pays off so much there. Now, on the mental side, I would say resiliency is a really big thing because it will be hard at times. Yes, I talk a lot about it gets to be easy, it gets to be simple, but really they are a decision in terms of how you're approaching things. There will be hard situations. There will be a client who doesn't pay on time. There will be a potential client who you thought they were going to sign on to work with you and then they didn't. There will be a month where you don't hit the income goal, and that's completely fine. Especially if you're right at the start, the clients won't flood in immediately, and that is okay. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that nothing's working. It doesn't mean you need to pivot and switch anything. Sticking with it, sticking with that consistency and having the resiliency to just keep showing up day after day, even when the results haven't come yet, is such a key piece. So as I said, just show up day after day before the results have arrived. And that is how the results actually do arrive in the first place, from that consistency and from just having the resiliency of going through those challenges. And they're not something which is going to stop you and, make you quit. It's something which you just get through and you just get stronger as you're going through those. And then the final point is a willingness to put in the work. I see this so much where, people will, again, going off of the resiliency, consistency kind of conversation, it really does actually just take showing up each day. And it does take just refining and just getting better each day. And a lot of people will be in that position where they're saying, I've showed up for 3 weeks. Why haven't I got the client yet? I've showed up for a few months. Why aren't I at 6 figures yet? Why aren't I at this level? But really, the more that we put in the work, the more we do see those results. It really does look like this. This is the exponential growth that you see from the work that you're putting in, because really the work that you're doing right now is not for the results that you're getting tomorrow. It's for the results that you're getting in 3 weeks' time, in 3 months' time, in a year's time, etc. You're really building on things right now to get the results that you're going to get in the future. So really treating it like that is such a just great way to approach things. And it really does just take showing up, every day, again and again, when the content feels like it was really bad that you put out, when it didn't land in the way that you wanted it to, when you feel like you're just speaking into a void, really just showing up each day again and again, and just focus every day on just how can I just get better and how can I refine things. That is the only thing you need to be focusing on, just showing up and then, okay, how can I improve? How can I get better? How can I make this content slightly better? How can I land with more people, etc.? It always will work. As I said with the example of the flyer and the leaflet, just dropping that in for marketing for clients, it always will work. You are not unlucky. There's not a single person here listening who is unlucky and it's just not going to work for you. It will work. And also we do get to make that work easier. So where I talk about simplicity, we can still make it easier. We can still make things simpler. We can still find better ways to do things. And also it will still be work. There's no world in which we can make things so simple that there's not going to be work to put in. There's still work. So really just having that willingness to put in the work is something which is just going to save you so much time and energy and just actually get you to those results in the first place so much quicker than you possibly could have thought. So that is what I would say would be my tips after several years in the industry about what it really takes to start and grow a service-based online business. Let me know in the comments below, what did you take from this? And also what tips would you add as well from your experience? I would love to know. And I will see you in the next video tomorrow.